What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Strictly Sports. I am BYS.
I'm a real
Um,
Cowboy fan, but not a delusional one.
Bills Mafia, baby. Your boy Trigger.
You didn't went to Bills Mafia?
Bills Mafia, baby. Josh Allen MVP. Let's go.
Mm.
Uh,
That's my
I want
quarterback.
to. I want
That's
to
my
say
quarterback.
Josh, but then I want to say Jared Goff, but I say you can't be MVP. You throw 5 picks.
Yeah, I'm about to say I think his that game last week messed him up because his stats is all jacked up. He got 9 picks.
But somebody said it don't matter because they winning.
Well, I mean we'll see.
One of y'all watch Trigger. So one of y'all watching the game. Watching the game.
I am. I mean my TV is always loud.
I thought it was Trigger the way he was looking. He watching the Heat in the 76ers. That's what he watching.
I ain't watching that either.
You just giving up on all your teams.
Yeah, fuck Miami too. They going straight to the damn. They gonna have a top 10 pick in the draft as well.
Trigger
Hey,
said he watching Mad Lock.
The only team I'm worried about right now, my Bulldogs, and what moves my Yankees gonna make in free agency. That's it.
Mm.
hey, Gil got
Fuck
rookie of
the
the year.
Cowboys and fuck the Heat.
I guess the only team I'd be worrying about is my Matoka Warriors. They play Bird this weekend. They play Bird Friday.
That's gonna be a dub. That's gonna be a dub. We in there. We going to the ship this year.
Yeah, they
All
ain't
right,
winning the ship though.
we gonna win.
What the fucking hell?
Oh Lord,
Sorry.
All right, so what you got for us, Be
he
Good?
watching the game. He watching the game. He said he ain't be watching the game.
Yeah, I
All
turned
right,
it on now since y'all watching.
first topic. I gotta figure out how I can get us on here with.
Worried about the 49ers and the Ravens.
I don't want to block. Oh, I got it.
Oh,
Hold on.
that's a
I'm
fumble.
sorry.
That's a backwards pass.
All right. Are we worried about the 49ers and the Ravens? Shout out to First Take for jacking our topic that we talked about yesterday in the group chat. But
49ers, I am. They have a lot of injuries. Um, I think I can't. What's the safety name? He's got the Hawaiian name, a Tunga,
Hufunga.
a Funga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like that.
he's
I ain't know
out.
you talking about.
Jimmy Ward. Is it Jimmy Ward who lost his child?
Tre'Davious Ward, I believe.
Jadavius Ward lost his child. Like they have a lot of injuries. It's just one of those years where the injury bug bit them. Um, Christian McCaffrey is out. George Kittle is battling injuries.
McCaffrey's
Uh,
back.
huh?
Yeah, McCaffrey's
McCaffrey's
back.
back. This was his second
Yeah, I
game
mean, yeah,
back
he's
this week.
back, but I mean, then George Kittle is out. So it's just one of those years, where the injury bug got him. But
Bosa went out
they
again
are
last
in a
game.
weak NFC West, but the NFC overall is a strong conference. They play Green Bay Sunday. I do not see them beating Green Bay. Um,
Chicago almost beat Green Bay.
yeah, they did. That's a division rival though.
That is true. That is
But
true.
the Ravens, and I'm worried about the Ravens, but not what everybody's talking about Lamar. I thought Lamar had a pretty good. I mean, I seen Lamar had a bad game, and that stat line is Josh Allen's average.
Did you see what just happened?
Uh-oh.
What?
He dropped the ball.
They went for a fake punt.
Oh, your
Oh,
team put
you
them
ahead
on.
of you way ahead of us, Trigger.
But
Somebody got to
Oh,
get fired after this game, bro.
did he catch it?
oh, he
What?
caught
Yeah,
it.
he
He got
caught it,
hit.
but he
He
won't
got
close to
hit.
the first down marker.
He
Oh,
got
somebody
hit.
got to lose their job.
Like
Somebody
just like
got to
the,
lose
just
their
like the
job.
third, just like the third down play before that. These guys don't run to where the first down is. You're gonna throw a pass behind the sticks in that situation. Like, no.
That's hey. Tell him how you feel, Trigger. We done got you all. We can get your blood pressure rising up before you get.
But back to the Ravens. I think Lamar is not the main issue. I think
Dak called that
Lamar's
play.
issue is gonna be in January. Yeah, Dak, I'd be upset too.
Dak called that play.
Yeah, that's what it was. Dak called that play. Their defense, Baltimore's defense, is not up to par like it used to be. They lead the league in penalties, lead the league in penalty
Just
yards.
embarrassed.
They drop passes. I mean, they're still 7-4, but you know,
Embarrassed.
they I don't see them doing anything in January. They might win one playoff game, and that'd be it. I don't see them beating Kansas City. I don't see them beating Buffalo. Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I don't see them beating Pittsburgh. I don't even see them beating San Diego.
Ooh, San Diego, a good team.
Yeah,
Jim Harbaugh got them
Oh,
boys
they
fighting.
almost choked away that game last
yeah,
night.
they did. Yeah, they almost they
But that's the
did choke them,
Chargers, though.
huh?
You
That's
know,
the
the
same
Chargers. I think the
Chargers team
Chargers have
that.
been in
About
this
to say that's the same
one score
Chargers team
game.
that gave up that game to Jacksonville in the playoffs a couple years ago, won't it?
Right.
So
Five
just when I
turnovers,
was
and they came
ready,
back in second half.
just when I was ready, be like, okay,
What's going on, Lady Ray?
they let them back in it.
Mm. So
But
yeah,
then now,
I would say I am worried about the 40. I'm worried about the 49ers not making the playoffs, and I'm worried about Baltimore not doing anything in the playoffs. If that makes sense.
So same old for Baltimore.
Yeah.
I worry about. I don't think the NFC West is weak. That's my thing. I don't think it's weak. So that's why I worry about the 49ers. But the 49ers are a tested team deep in the playoffs. So I mean, as we know, November football is when a lot of people say football gets real, and it's getting real for a lot of teams. The Ravens, I worry about their receivers. I think it's going to be the same old story, like you say. Ravens do good, they get to the playoffs, and then they don't have that playmaker for Lamar. So it's tough. Tank for Tet is what I would tell
Mm.
Baltimore. Tank for Tet.
Mm.
Trigger. Trigger in the game.
yeah, I would just say
Are they going
between the
for the fourth one?
49ers, and the Ravens, I think I'm more worried about the Ravens because they actually have a
Who
chance.
pick?
They actually have a chance to go out and like they're in Super Bowl contention.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
49ers, like I said, they got injuries. They're getting some guys back, but some guys are still not back. Um, Brock Purdy's looked very human this year, but they're still in the race. I mean, you got three teams that are 5-5 between the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams, and the Cardinals lead the division. So they're very much right there in the mix. I mean, they string together some rhythm here and get things going. They could really find a way to make it into the playoffs. And I feel like in the NFC, man, it's not as loaded as far as like clear cut teams that are going to go to the playoffs and be a threat. There's really Detroit, Philly. The jury's still out on Washington because they haven't had any quality wins. Um, we're trying to still figure out what's going on with Tampa Bay. I know they had injuries with their receivers. They had a hot start to the year. They had a hot start to the year. Recently, they haven't played as well as they've been playing. Um, Still trying to figure out, the NFC West, are the Cardinals legit? The 49ers going to get healthy. Are the Seahawks going to be there in the end? Because the Seahawks are very back and forth. The Rams, now that they got their receivers back, are they going to make a run? So, it's a pretty tough division, like you mentioned, but, those teams, it's still some questions, and they still have it in them, all four of those teams, to make runs and be a playoff contender this season. You go up to the north. Chicago Bears are literally 2 games from being 6-3. We talked about that in the group chat earlier, but they're at what 4-5. But you got Green Bay, who I feel like will be a thorn in somebody's side. I feel like you can say they'll be in the playoffs. Minnesota might get there, but I like Washington with Minnesota. I'm not sold on them. Um, and then obviously you got Detroit, which I mentioned earlier in that division. So, I mean, really, like three or four teams in NFC still got three or four other slots that need to be filled come playoff time. And honestly, it's a toss up, between who fills those four spots in the NFC. So I think the 49ers are still good despite the injuries, but as far as the Ravens go, the Ravens play really good complementary football. I know the defense probably hasn't been as great as the offense, but they play pretty decent. They have moments where they have lapses, receivers dropping passes, Lamar not being as clutch or, getting it done when he absolutely needs to. But I think the Ravens will be, they'll be a top three seed in the AFC. My only concern with the Ravens is in the big games. Like we've seen Lamar Jackson now in the playoffs in big games. And I don't think it was his fault last year when they lost, but you got to get past Kansas City, you got to get past Buffalo. Those would be the only two teams that he needs to worry about. And until he beats those teams, especially Kansas City specifically, There's always going to be questions about him and the Ravens and being able to being and them being able to get over the hump and actually be a true Super Bowl contender. So I worry more about the Ravens just in that aspect, just getting it done when they need to get done. They have the pieces in place. They have the squad. They got the quarterback. They got the receivers. They got the running back, especially because we should have got that running back in Dallas, but Jerry Jones happened, and the Ravens, they are a juggernaut when they want to be. I wish they would use Mark Andrews. He's one of the top tight ends in the league, especially over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and it feels like he hasn't really gotten into a rhythm yet, and he's been really Lamar's biggest weapon. Um, in the past. So I like to see him get involved, get a little bit more, touches in the offense, and maybe that'll make things easier for the for Baltimore and trying to run things. But you know, I don't know. But I worry more about the Ravens and the Niners. The Niners, they still have a chance. I think both teams can be playoff teams, but I think the Ravens, there's more expected out of them than the Niners. The Niners,
D
the Niners don't make it. No one's gonna be mad because they've been on top. They've been to what two
going on,
two
Lynn
two
Scobar.
Super
How you doing,
Bowls.
brother?
They've been to 2 Super Bowls here in the last 3 4 years. They had hella injuries this year, so nobody's gonna be upset at them for not making it. The Ravens have no excuse. So I'll be a little more worried about them than I am about the Niners.
They also got to worry about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is playing good football.
Yeah, and there's a lot of teams in the AFC that's going to be there. Baltimore and Pittsburgh are definitely coming out the North. Obviously Kansas City, Buffalo.
What's going on?
That's
I'm
four
sorry.
teams. Who else in the AFC is Houston? That's five. They're going to be there.
But we don't got to speculate. Hold on, fella. Hold on. We don't got to speculate. Let's go to the next topic. NFL playoff race is heating up. So the NFL playoff race is heating up. So here we go. Let's add this. And I apologize. It's my first day. Here you go. You don't got to speculate. I got it for you right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
Um, the biggest thing, Buffalo. Y'all beat up on Kansas City in the regular season, but then he threw a pick, but then they returned the favor in the playoffs.
Yep.
I
So,
think Buffalo has owned. I think they've won the last four meetings against Kansas City in the regular season,
yep.
but then Kansas City's won three straight in the playoffs. So
Yep. So it's like the Ravens, man. Kansas City is Buffalo and Baltimore's kryptonite in the playoffs.
hmm I think my sleeper pick. I don't know, man. I think my sleeper pick is gonna be Denver.
ooh,
Yeah,
that's a
they've
good
been
one.
very surprising this season.
Yeah,
Bo
they,
Nix has played pretty well. 14 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, I think,
yeah,
and he had
they
4 touchdowns yesterday. So
they have a good defense.
and they beat a good Falcons team at that. So I mean,
Yeah,
pretty. I think they probably had one of the more impressive victories of the day. I would have said Detroit, but they played Jacksonville. So
yeah,
Without Trevor Lawrence.
yep. So
yeah.
not
It
But
was
I
super
mean, but still,
impressive,
at the end
but
of the day, Jacksonville is an NFL team. You shouldn't be losing by 46 points if you're an NFL team.
yeah. Well, Falcons got blown out too, but I
Yeah,
think the Broncos win was more impressive because the Falcons actually have a winning record. They may be a playoff team. So
the Falcons are who we thought they were.
mm. and I'm still not sold on Philly. I mean, Saquon Barkley is a huge addition, but they still. I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
mean,
well, Detroit is a better all around team than them, but like I
yeah,
said, man, NFC is just not. I don't look everywhere and see loaded teams like I do in the AFC. Like those teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, Texans, Steelers, Ravens, Chargers. I mean, that's a gauntlet right there. I mean, any one of those teams could be in a Super Bowl. But I feel
yeah,
like in the NFC, it's either Detroit or Philly, maybe
yeah.
Green Bay. But
And my
everybody
issue,
else, you don't trust.
yeah, my issue with Buffalo is nobody else in the division is good. They could probably wrap up the division by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they could.
So are they going to be resting players, and is that going to cause rust? So that's going to be very interesting to see what Buffalo does.
Yeah, Buffalo definitely had a. I mean, Buffalo was not a strong team coming into the season personnel wise. I mean, after losing Stephon Diggs, they didn't really have a bunch of weapons offensively. That's why they went out and got Amari Cooper.
Mm.
But even before Amari Cooper got there, they were still winning games. So
Yeah.
Buffalo has found a way, and you got to give them credit for that. The coaches, Josh Allen's having an MVP like season. Um, so they've been able to string it together. They got a nice culture, a nice system there, and they've been able to be successful despite not having the weapons that we've
Yep.
been accustomed to seeing them have.
No, I agree.
My bad. So y'all don't believe in the Vikings or the Packers coming out of the NFC?
No, I believe more in
Um.
the Packers than the Vikings. It's just the
Yeah.
Vikings, man. I feel like the Vikings they have these stretches where they win a bunch of games, and then it's like they go up against good teams and then they fold.
I'm just not sold.
That's what
Sam
happened in
Darnold
that.
is playing better,
That's what
but
I.
and go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Mouse.
I saying, Sam Darnold is playing better, but eh, I just can't get with it. But I mean, you never know.
Yeah, because wasn't the Vikings, they were 5-0, and they had a game against Detroit and they lost, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a close game. I believe it was a close game, but still, you lost to a good team. So it was like, 5-0, and I was like, no, I don't believe it. And then what
Hmm.
happened? They lost to Detroit, and since
I answered you
then,
14 times.
Sam Darnold hasn't looked the same. I think, but I think the NFC is wide open this year. I mean, Detroit, they really got a good chance of going back to the NFC Championship, possibly Super Bowl this year.
Hmm.
Because I mean, it's just down this year. It's just down. Like there's no clear cut favorites. There's not a lot of competition. Um, a lot of complete teams in the NFC like it is in the AFC.
Right.
Excuse me.
Y'all really believe in the Lions?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely, I
I
do.
know Jared Goff do sometimes he can, lapse into, bad Jared Goff. That's why the Rams traded him. So I mean, he's going to be the big issue. But I mean, outside of that, I don't see. I think they're the most, like Trigger said, they're the most complete team. Um, they have a good coaching staff. They have a city that's behind them. Um, they bite kneecaps, as I like to say.
Hungry.
They do got a city behind them. I can tell you
Yeah.
that from being there last week.
And they
Yeah.
are starving for a championship. They've been the butt of the NFL for a long time,
Right.
and they're finally relevant. They've been relevant for at least the last 2 years,
Hmm.
and we saw this coming. I saw this coming. The way they played, not last season, but the season before, they missed the playoffs, but they
Yeah.
went on a run. They went on a run at the end of the season where they won a bunch of games, and they absolutely were just a few pieces away from being a contender. And they went out, what they do in the offseason, they went and got a bunch of players in the draft and through free agency, and now
Hmm.
they are who they are.
Right. I think it all started with Jared Goff. He had to believe in because I think they got him in 21. He struggled in 21, then he struggled in the beginning of 22. And like you said,
Yep.
they went on that great run. I think they ended up 9-8 at the end of 22.
Yep. They were just over
And
500.
yep, and because they started off like what 1-6, 1-7.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Y'all sound like y'all
um,
talking about Carolina this year.
hmm?
Y'all sound like y'all talking about Carolina this year.
Oh, my goodness.
What, the Tar Heels?
Whatever.
Oh,
Finish your thought.
I mean, I don't know. Carolina ended in my thought.
You
But
a hater.
yeah, it's just good to see what's going on in Detroit, man. They deserve it. Man, I wish they can rub off on the Pistons, but that's for another day on Strictly Sports.
I did watch the Pistons beat the Miami Heat in person. It was sad. Overtime on a alley oop from out of bounds, and then one on the free throw.
Trash.
So
Trash.
Pistons are 2-0 in
Trash.
group play.
Trash.
Thank
Miami Heat ain't
you.
gonna be able to do nothing in free agents for the next 10 years. It's just everyone get used to it. I wouldn't be
Hey, Trigger,
surprised if they traded Butler at the deadline and just got picks or something and just started over. They're
Tyler Hero, that boy.
completely wasting Tyler Hero's season right
He
now.
that boy. He that boy. Tyler Hero, that boy. I watched him in person. He that boy.
Averaging 25 points a game, and we under 500.
He took
Mm.
over in that game. He took over in that game and
Yeah,
got the
he had
heat.
40.
Yeah.
We had 40 against Detroit, and we lost.
So,
Mm.
all right,
40-point
fellas,
effort.
let's switch because we up against the clock. Um, I say NCAA playoff predictions.
I have no idea. I feel like there's no clear cut favorite. I know Oregon is undefeated, but now with this playoff system, it's any given day. You got 13 teams. I've expressed, I don't like this 12 team playoff. I feel like it kind of takes away from the regular season because you can get hot at the right time, and then but it's interesting to see. But I don't know, man. I think maybe Texas might be might be the favorite.
Georgia is the 11th seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because y'all not leading in the SEC, y'all got to add large bid.
Mm-hmm.
So the top four teams are leading the conference, and then everybody else is at large.
The highest Notre Dame can be is 5. So
Yeah, because Notre Dame doesn't. They're not in a conference.
I don't know if this is updated yet because the way they was talking, y'all might be first out too.
Well, I
So
know last week they were the first out.
okay, so maybe that was
Before
last
before this game, they were last out. They were the 13th seed or
12
whatever.
teams.
Yeah.
We just beat Tennessee. That don't count for nothing.
No, I'm saying this is before the Tennessee game.
This is before
Mm,
tomorrow. You know they do the new ones tomorrow.
Yeah.
okay.
But I mean, I can't trust Miami.
No.
Um, they got too many close ones and having to come back. Uh, SMU, I think the ACC, depending on what they how they end, they only getting one in. I think it's gonna be Miami, SMU, or Clemson, and it's gonna take a lot to get Clemson in. Can you trust Boise State?
I don't know much about other than the running back. I don't know anything about Boise State.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he could carry the load. I don't think he could pull a Derrick Henry and lead them to victory.
The
I
team
love
I
that
do,
dance Joe Mixon do. I gotta learn that dance.
and he scored again. I should have had
Yeah.
Joe Mixon on the fantasy team.
It's
Oh, he
another
down though.
running back Dallas could have went and got, by the way.
He down.
He was
Oh,
also
he
But
was down.
available.
but the team I really truly worry about is number 10, Ole Miss. Ole Miss,
Uh,
if they get it together, they got the pass rush and they can score points.
mm,
They got
Yeah,
two
that
pass
defensive
rush.
line is
Hellacious.
real.
And then Oregon. I feel like Oregon is like one of the number one teams of recent years that nobody's talking about.
I think because they're west, they're on the west coast.
They like they
Just
playing the Big Ten this year though.
yeah, they play in the Big Ten, but they're still. Oh, there you go, Joe.
Man, CJ, you need to score touchdowns. You and Tank Dale stop playing.
Oh no, do the
Since
dance.
people
Oh, he ain't doing the dance.
since people kickers want to get 12 points, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So yeah, I think Ole Miss. Um, it depends on what Georgia we get too. It seems
Yeah.
like you get a different Georgia every week, but
They
I
play
don't know.
well with their backs against the wall. I'll say that.
Yeah, maybe that's good for them to go in as a 12 or 11
Yeah,
seed.
that's what I'm saying. I don't. If they had that mentality where it's like they have to win because they played that game against Tennessee like they had to win. The same
Mm.
way when we came off the Alabama loss and they had the week off and then they had to go play Texas. They came out in that game like they had to win, and they did. And they went out and they won both of those games.
Mm.
So they win when they absolutely need to. They look like garbage every other week, but when when they need to win a game, I feel like Kirby Smart, whatever, they do a great job of getting them boys together, and they go out there and they play like their lives and their season depends on it because it really does. So
It's scary though to draw an Ohio State or Penn State as your first game
I
Right.
think I'm not really worried about Penn State. I don't. I mean, they haven't seen a team as good as us all season outside Ohio State.
Nope.
Yeah, because I watched
Mobile
the game.
quarterback.
They played Purdue, and Purdue was just not good. And I mean, like I said, outside of Ohio State, who has Penn State really played? Um, I really don't see Penn State beating anybody on this list outside of Boise State and maybe BYU. Well, BYU, they're in the Pac-12,
Big 12.
Big 12.
So
I could see BYU being one and done.
Colorado too though. Don't sleep on Dion though.
I'm sleeping on Dion. I mean, they've had a great season, but I'm sleeping in the playoffs. Nah.
They opened that playoff to 20 teams and they in there.
Yeah, they still have a lot of
Hell,
issues. Their
16
defense.
teams
I
that'll be
mean,
in there.
they've been better, but the defense is still. They gave up 25 points to Utah, man.
I think
Like,
Yeah,
Utah is ranked coming
that's
into this
only good.
year.
They do
Utah is
that
ranked
with.
coming into this year.
Yeah, well,
but
still.
they
I
had to
mean,
lose
it's
a
Zach.
hurt
It was
couple
Zach
weeks.
Wilson's little brother, and that game was close as this. I watched that game was close as go.
Mm.
But this also they did make a good. Colorado sometimes goes to sleep
Yeah,
and
they
lets
they
teams come back in,
yeah.
and you can't do that
Um,
against a Georgia or Oregon.
they still can't run the football. Um, offensive line is still shaky. Shador's still getting sacked a lot. Like, can you imagine Colorado playing Ole Miss?
Oh, that's ball game.
Yeah,
Ball game.
yeah. Like they. As Chad Ochocinco said, they would kiss the baby.
So yeah, I think that you're all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. This looks like for me Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas.
I would probably have to say
Final four.
Ohio State. Ohio State lose to Oregon.
You said what?
I said, who do Ohio State lose to? Oregon?
I think so.
Yep,
Okay.
it was Oregon.
I'll probably, I mean, I would have to give it to what I would say Georgia. I'm still going with the SEC. Now,
Ohio State.
at the end of the day, SEC is still the best conference in football. And I would still have to say Georgia or Bama.
Ohio State got that tough test this weekend, and then they got Michigan the week after, and that's not easy games.
Well, the game against Michigan is at the Horseshoe. It's in Columbus.
Okay,
I
so
do think
that
they
might
will
be.
break the curse of losing three straight games. I don't really know Indiana that well. I mean, they're ranked 5. They're undefeated, but I mean, that game's at the shoes with Indiana. It might be a different story, but I don't see them. It'll be competitive, but I don't see them struggling against Indiana.
You trust Will Howard that much?
I trust Ohio State. I trust the team.
I think it's gonna be a good one. I think if Indiana beats this, I think Indiana top 3.
Yeah. I mean, they're ranked 5th, so I mean, yeah, I think they'll jump ahead of somebody. All right, we got 5 minutes. Next topic.
Oh yeah, let's move on. Um, we hit it real quick. Who wins the Heisman? Who y'all got winning the Heisman Trophy?
I feel like
I
it
got it.
should be Ashton Junty because what he's doing is just crazy. But it's
Right.
probably going to go to either Shador or Travis Hunter because of, you know, their play. Probably Travis Hunter because he plays on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to go with Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Travis Hunter. I agree 100% with Trigger. It should be the running back from Boise State, but I'm gonna have to go with not Shador, Travis Hunter.
Yeah, they will, Lady Ray. And I agree with y'all too. I got a little flexibility, so we got probably about another 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
But I think Travis Hunter, because unless if best player in college
Travis
football,
Hunter,
Travis Hunter
every
is the
week
best
he's
player in
making
college football.
plays,
Yeah.
both sides of the ball. I think finally playing 2 positions in football and, you know, the number of reps that he's getting. I mean, there's talks of him, you know, being in a conversation last year up until he got hurt. Uh, but yeah, I mean, he's doing it again this season. So I think he has to think they have to reward that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
especially
will
if he keeps
say
it up.
though, they gonna have to rest him because he did get burnt a couple times in the game Saturday, and I think that had to do with fatigue.
Yeah. And if he goes to the next level, I mean, I don't see him in NFL playing two
Oh
sides of the
no,
ball. It's gonna
no.
be one or
Um.
the other.
What?
Maybe they bring him in,
Mhm.
every now and again to do something, but I think when he gets to the next level, they're definitely not going to
Some.
have him
What do you
playing
think they
both
going What do you
sides.
think he's gonna be? A wide receiver or a DB?
I think he wants to
Probably
be
a
a wide
wide
receiver.
receiver.
I
But
see him
somebody
as
made
a
a good point.
DB. I think he'd be a DB.
Somebody made a good point. He could play cornerback and then be your number 3 or number 4 receiver because your
Yeah, I
number
mean, I
3 or
could
number
see
4
him.
receiver ain't on the field all the time.
Yeah,
I,
I could see him doing something like that if they were to do that. But
but I don't
um,
know because with this today's NFL, the number three receiver is always on the field more time than not.
You put him as 4.
I mean, okay.
He would be like Tolbert for y'all. It'd be like having or Turpin. It'd be like having
yeah,
Turpin.
Mm,
You don't need. I don't need him every play on offense, but I need
mm.
you more on defense than I need you on. Well, for Carolina, I would need you more on defense and offense. Or he plays wide receiver and then plays slot cornerback.
Like Troy
But
Brown back with the Patriots.
yeah, but like you said though too, a lot of teams are playing out of nickel more, so that number 3 cornerback would be on the field more too. So I think you're gonna have to make a decision.
What's
But
his size? How big is he? Because he don't look big at all.
he is 6'1", 185 pounds.
Yeah, I put him at cornerback. Make him gain about 10 pounds. He can get a little physical.
Yeah, it sucks for Dylan Gabriel though because he is having a good year. Um,
Mm,
and on a good team, and I feel like he's not getting talked about for the Heisman, but we don't have the votes. So,
exactly.
but I think Ashton Genty, I think it's gonna take him getting Boise State deep into the college football. Well, they're gonna do the Heisman probably in
I'm
a
about to say
couple
they're
weeks.
gonna do the Heisman the first Saturday in December.
Yeah, so
Well, second Saturday in December. I'm sorry. No, second Saturday. No, first Saturday. No.
yeah, I think you're right. It's coming up here soon.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving is late this year,
Yeah, it's the 28th.
so that means yeah, so like December 6th is when they do the Heisman thing.
All right, let's go to NBA recap of the season. I put recap in there twice. I knew I didn't read spell check. NBA recap season recap so far.
Cleveland, man. I think that's the talk of the NBA. Cleveland. I really haven't been following the NBA. I really don't follow it till after All Star break into the playoffs. But from what I'm seeing, Cleveland is what 15, 16 and 0. Um, okay, Turbine. Oh, it's a flag. It must be coming back.
Yeah,
Um,
they're 15-0. They playing Boston tomorrow night.
okay,
that'll be their first L of the season right there.
I got you.
But yeah, what Cleveland's done, it's like I was telling you guys in the group chat, man. Like they are winning. Come from behind, overtime, blowouts. It's been a pretty good mix of stuff, and they've had some pretty solid competition. They've also been healthy. The rest of the East has not been as healthy. At least some of the top teams that we projected to be in the mix. Obviously, Philly and Embiid. Brunson has been banged up a little bit with New York. Miami, Jimmy Butler's been out with an ankle.
Uh,
Trey Young wasn't playing the other night with Atlanta. I don't know if that was rest or injury. I'm not sure about that. But it's like I was saying, man. It's Cleveland and it's Boston, and then everybody else. Look at how close those records are. Everybody's like right at 500, hovering around 500. At least all the top 10 teams for the most part. But they are head and shoulders the best two teams in the East, and right now it is a two-man race. I assume once other teams begin to get healthier and the season kind of progresses and everybody gets into a rhythm, we'll start to see a little bit more separation. But as of now, everybody's kind of right on top of each other. Even with Miami being at 5-7, they're not out of it. A couple more wins, and they can obviously jump up into being one of the top five, top four seeds in the East. But right now, I think Boston and Cleveland are running away with it. And I wouldn't be surprised if those two were to meet in the end, the way they look right now. But we got to see what everybody else is going to look like first. You know, is Embiid going to get his feet up under him? Are they going to be able to rebound and come out and, you know, go on a run here? Is Milwaukee, you know, what are they going to do with Dame and Giannis? They're going to break them up. There's rumors that, you know, Damian Lillard could be on the trade block again, and Miami could be a player
What?
again. Which,
What?
yep, yeah, I was reading articles saying Damian Lillard could be on his way out. He
The
had a game where he
issue,
only scored 3 points earlier this season.
the issue is not Giannis or Dame. Take a guess who the issue
It's
is.
Doc
Doc.
Rivers. It's Doc Rivers.
Glenn fucking Doc Rivers. I don't. They were 30-13 when they fired the last coach.
Was
They've
it
had a
Yeah.
losing
Budenholzer?
record
Oh,
since they hired Doc. I
No,
don't
Adrian
know.
Griffin.
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, Doc Rivers. He milks that 2008 championship better than anybody else. Outside of that one magical fucking season when they brought KG and Ray Allen with Paul Pierce, what has he
Yeah.
done? He's been a marginal coach.
Yes.
He has the most
And he called him
3-1
mid.
blown leads in NBA history. I think there's in the NBA history there's been 8 3-1 blown leads. Doc Rivers is responsible for 4.
Yeah.
Like, why do they keep hiring this man?
Yeah. Well, I'll give Doc a pass for last season because Giannis and Dame got hurt in the first round. So
Well, yeah,
he,
I'll give yeah.
yeah, but this year obviously different because it's a full season under Doc. So we'll see what happens later if they keep Dame or if they trade him away. Is Chris Middleton even on the team anymore? Or is he hurt again? Like
I don't know.
what's the
I
deal
don't
with
think.
him?
I think Chris Middleton like Kevin Love because
Like what is
Kevin
going
Love
on?
can,
Because yeah, I don't understand why Miami went out and re-signed Kevin Love. Like what does he do?
Trigger. He came into the game for. He started the game, I believe. He shot 3 air balls, and I didn't see him the rest of the game.
So
My man was the
again, I
first man
asked
to
the
the locker
question.
room, though.
Again, I asked the question. What does he do?
I mean,
What does
vet. I
he
guess
do?
vet support
It was one
knowledge.
point. It was one point in Kevin Love's career where he may have been the best power forward in the NBA. That man was what
He was a
25 and
double
15 that
machine.
night, huh?
He was a double machine those years in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a beast. And he went to Cleveland and became a third wheel behind Kyrie and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously when you're playing with players of that caliber, you're gonna give up something. You're not
Yeah.
gonna
Bad guy.
go off for 30 and 15 every night. But
Right.
hey,
That's your
that's what
question, Trigger.
happens. And then he comes to Miami, and his father time is caught up with him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I would love to sit on the NBA bench, collect my millions of dollar paycheck, and come in and shoot 3 air balls. I can do that.
Hey,
Right.
anybody can do that. Hell, I'll go
What's-
1 for 3. How about that?
Hey,
That's better than what he is.
if I go 1 for 3, y'all ain't gonna tell me none.
I would
You
have
tell me
won the
none, I go
game.
1 for 3.
That would have won. If he made one of those threes, we win
That
that
would have
game.
won that game. That would have won that game.
'Cause what
But
did
I
we lose
looked
by?
that
We
game
lost by 1, lost
1
2.
point on a free throw. Lost on
Yeah.
a free throw.
On the free
Bro,
throw.
they threw it in. Y'all saw the video. I sent you the video. Threw it inbounds, dunked it, and
Mhm.
fouled him. Game.
Mm.
Blouses.
Yeah. So yeah, he makes one of those air balls, and we have a different outcome.
And I was already mad because I spent $70 in there on a beer, a drink, and some chicken sliders. So
Some chicken what?
chicken slide. They gave me 2 chicken sliders and French fries. That was $23. The
God
beer
dang.
was $18, and the drink I got was $28.
You
So
gotta drink some water with that shit.
water would have been the same price.
Man, what?
Water would have been the same price. Yeah, they needed though. It was fun, good stadium, but Miami, I don't. That's the second basketball game I've been to, NBA game I've been to in my life, and the second one that has happened, but the last second win like that.
Mm.
So I don't know. I'm getting tired of watching my teams lose in person. That's all I'm gonna say. Bro, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't
Yeah.
see. All right. Last topic. I know y'all have been following very closely the NCAA basketball. We can't see that right now, I know. But who y'all got this year? Women's, I got South Carolina against everybody. And in the men's, I'm going with VCU, who is receiving 17 votes for the top 25.
You picked VCU.
VCU getting to the Elite Eight.
I don't know, man.
You know what?
College
I know I'm
basketball
not gonna say nothing.
is an awkward sport. Like, can you? I mean, other than those couple years when Kentucky had like all the best players, has there ever really been a number best team? I know Duke when they had Zion and
UConn
RJ
on a
Barrett.
back to back.
I feel like it
UConn
changes every year, which is good for the sport because it keeps people interested.
Yeah,
UConn back to back though. I think
yeah.
right.
I don't know. I can't really give you a clear cut favorite for yeah, men's. Women's South Carolina, USC. You know, South Carolina got the best team. USC got the best player. And more times than not, the
Um,
best team always beats the best player.
don't forget about Paige.
Nah, Paige ain't got shit on Juju,
Huh?
and
I was
that ain't
watching
no
Juju.
disrespect on Paige, but Juju is probably the best basketball player in America.
I watched them play, and maybe it just wasn't a good game that I watched, but it was a lot of shooting and a lot of I don't know. I watched you. I don't think USC is gonna go far. It's early, but
Mm.
I don't think she got a team around her. Good, blessed player, but all those other women, they play as a team. South Carolina gonna play as a team. UConn gonna play as a team. I may be wrong. I haven't been watching, but on the men's side, it feels like 2006 again with Kansas, UConn, and Gonzaga in the top three.
Mm.
I don't know what UConn trigger. You may speak to it. UConn's had a resurgence, back-to-back national championships, going for another one.
Well, I think what it is now, teams ain't really going for that big star freshman. They getting juniors and seniors out the portal. That's what Connecticut's been doing for the past couple years.
I saw that they wanted Cooper Flag though, but he chose
Yeah,
Duke over Connecticut.
yeah. It's like they are taking experience over talent. And
Development.
UConn has shown for these past 2 years. Look, let's get these juniors and seniors instead of this 5-star recruit freshman. Like, you can't knock it.
That's true. What's your thoughts on that trigger?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather go for the veteran players, the proven guys, and like Miles was saying, depending on big star freshmen coming out of high school or whatever, like Duke with Cooper Flag and with Zion and those guys. So I get it. These coaches want to win. They want to be competitive. They want to win now. But for me, I don't really have a clear cut favorite right now. I feel like as soon as I'm ready to say, hey, I like this team, it's just as soon as I say that it's going to be this team, or I feel like this team is like, they let me down, So it's like I kind of want to wait a little bit till they get to conference play,
To the
give them
house
a few
again?
games to kind of get some
Ooh,
play up
yo,
under
Duke
the
balling, boy.
get some play up under the belts and see how they do
Get
when it
their feet
comes
under.
to see what they do. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I gotta let them.
Going going back to my 2006 comment, Rick Pitino and the St. John's team is ranked 22.
Who's your daddy?
Yep. Hey, on Thanksgiving, that's gonna be crazy.
Yo, that was
He was like, he was like,
hilarious,
he was
bro.
like, quiet down, quiet down.
Yeah, he ain't like it, but that was
He was like, quiet.
that was hilarious. Now, did you see that trigger?
He talking about he
What?
won't watch the game. He in the game now.
Rick Pitino was going up against his son, and Rick Pitino's team was whooping up on him, and the crowd was chanting, "Who's your daddy?"
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
was.
Rick Pitino, he didn't like that too much.
Hell, I would have liked it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would have loved it. I'm his daddy. God damn it, keep it up.
Did they call it a hold or oh yeah, holding
I
right there
think
on
they
number
they,
two.
they threw the flag away.
Oh, okay. Oh wow. All
And I
right.
think it was on Dallas. It was a win low, a low block.
Yeah.
Yeah, bullshit.
No, it ain't bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
CJ
bullshit.
need to get. Yeah.
Woo, look at that
Take
right
it.
there, boy. They about to.
Fucking shit.
I
Come on,
love when
CJ.
them.
I need one, CJ. But all right, fellas. What
All right,
left?
yeah, I gotta do some homework.
before you get out here, let me get your final thoughts. And who's your Super Bowl picks right now?
Right now,
My Super Bowl prediction will be Detroit. I mean, I guess it's like everybody else. I'm gonna go with Detroit and Kansas. No, I'm gonna say Detroit. I don't know if Kansas City's gonna win, man. I just don't think they're
I'm gonna
gonna.
say
You know
Detroit.
what? Detroit. I'm gonna go with Kansas City because when they play, when January comes, they turn it up. So I'm
Mm.
gonna say Detroit, Kansas City. Kansas City gets the three-peat, and Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback to ever live.
I'm gonna say Detroit and Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson gets in the postseason, and I think Derrick Henry's gonna help him get over the hump.
I'm gonna say Detroit and Buffalo. And Buffalo's gonna be in contention for number one seed when Carolina beats Kansas City this weekend.
Oh my God.
So let me get
Hey,
y'all final
Buffalo,
thoughts
you see Buffalo beating Kansas City finally?
in the play. I think this is the year they do it because if
I feel like
Kansas City in
very
December,
likely.
January, I can't go against them. You right on that. But if Buffalo gets home field advantage, I think that plays a bigger part than
They
them going
had
to
they
Arrowhead.
Kansas City went on the
they had a
road
home
last
game.
year.
They had a home game last year against Kansas
Yeah, that's
City.
last year though. That was the team of
They
destiny. The
went
back
they
to back.
beat
They wanted the back to
Baltimore
back.
and Buffalo on the road last year to get to the Super Bowl. They
Mm-hmm.
played
What's up,
Miami
Eggy
at
Bone?
home.
What's up?
What's going on?
Yo.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, my Kansas City had a home game against Miami. They beat them, and then they went on the road to Buffalo and Baltimore and route
Can
to
I
the Super
caveat
Bowl.
that? If Kansas City doesn't face Miami at home, they this isn't even talked about as a back to back. If Miami faces them in Miami, Miami beats Kansas City last year.
I still don't think they
I
win.
disagree.
I think they do.
I think Kansas City
I
will
I
win.
still
think they
don't
do.
think they win.
I
I
don't
Because
think
think
they
it
I'm
would have
do.
looking
been as
at Tyreek
bad as it.
Hill,
It
and
was 21. The first game was 21-14, and Kansas City didn't score in the second half. They beat them in
Okay,
Miami.
Buffalo has beaten Kansas City in the regular season for the past 5 years, and then look
And
what happens.
Kansas City is not the same old Kansas City, and Carolina gonna show y'all that this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, in
see,
November, but
see,
then in
is
January,
that comment right there that just negates everything you just said?
yeah.
Carolina, hey, you say that, but hey, I'm telling y'all, Jonathan Brooks starting. Yeah, and Kansas City got number one rush defense, but they didn't get to Josh Allen. And
Okay.
we got a better offensive line than the Buffalo Bills.
But the Buffalo Bills got a better team,
Tomatoes,
a better,
tomato.
a better coach, a better quarterback,
Where did his
a
coach come? Where
better,
did that
huh?
coach come from? Where did that
Huh?
coach come from? Where did that
Okay, but
coach
where
come
is
from?
he at now?
But where did that whole staff come from? Speak on where that whole staff came from.
Okay,
General
but
manager and coach.
what are they at now?
Yeah, they in Buffalo, but hey,
Yeah, and where's
Buffalo is just
Carolina
Carolina
going?
North to the playoffs.
What in
To the
Madden?
playoffs.
In
No, we
Madden?
going to the play. Hey,
Who
brother,
Madden
said
we
in
two games.
27?
Madden?
We 2 games back.
In Madden 27?
We 2 games back. 2 games.
Look, you see this right here? Y'all gonna be with us. Y'all gonna be with us on this one too. Look, that's a couch. Who
After
making
we
a
won the
pop?
Super Bowl, you right.
I,
After we won the Super Bowl, we on the couch.
I
look,
saw thighs and
Dallas
calves.
bringing
Hey, I thought you showing me something else. We gonna be hold
I
on.
was like, wait a minute. What kind of show is this?
Oh my bad, yeah.
You got children watching. We're
He
sorry.
a
Please
fan.
don't
He a
get
fan. He
FCC
a
involved.
fan.
We ain't trying to get mouths and get us canceled.
But no, I don't know. I genuinely think we're gonna beat Kansas City. Honestly, I think just stay with me now. Adam Thielen coming back.
Y'all's next win will be against the Cowboys.
Adam Thielen coming back, and JB starting. Well, not starting. He's playing.
Kansas City just
DJ
lost.
Wanham. DJ
Kansas
Wanham.
City just lost a big game. They gonna come pissed off.
I think they're looking past us.
They will beat y'all by 3 touchdowns.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Their offense ain't scoring. Their offense ain't scoring like that.
Okay.
That's why I don't. That's why I worry about them too. Their offense ain't scoring
When
like that.
Patrick Mahomes remember that he got Travis Kelce, then they'll be fine.
Kansas City's gonna get a defensive or special
Well,
teams
it
touchdown.
ain't even that. They got 3 tight ends. Kansas City got 3 tight ends. A defense touchdown off who?
I know, but
On
you need
y'all.
to
Yeah.
get your best tight end, your biggest weapon, your biggest
No.
reason for winning
And
involved.
the reason I say that too is because the Bills did. Look what the Bills did without their top receivers. And I think Xavier Legette is gonna go at Trent McDuffie, and he gonna dog him that whole game. And it's up to Bryce if Bryce throw that. But Bryce throw that ball, we gonna beat Kansas City. If he don't, if he goes back and reverts it all way, no, it's no way. We probably will lose by 3 touchdowns.
It's that
Bruh.
defense.
I ain't
If
worried
I
about
live by F,
JC
man,
is
I
going.
need-
D Hop is not gonna do anything with JC Horn. That's negate that. That's gone. The only thing I worry about is Travis Kelce. Then D Hop is done. D Hop is
Travis-
not doing anything.
Travis Kelce's gonna have a game. Is what you're saying.
How many? What was his game last week? Trigger 2 receptions for 8 yards.
That's what I'm saying. So you think he's gonna go back to back and have another bad game?
When is the last time he had a good game this year?
The week before?
No,
The week
no,
before that?
This
The week
Sunday.
before that?
This
It wasn't a
Sunday.
week before that. Don't
This
do that.
Sunday.
It
Yeah, the
was not.
last 3 weeks prior to
He bet
this
on the
week.
milk carton. He bet on the milk carton.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
well, look, the government gonna find you Sunday.
Okay.
You
They
might
gonna
be
find
right because
Sunday.
you got him.
I'm
You got him on your
telling
fantasy
you.
team.
I'm telling you.
You got him on your fantasy team. You might
Yeah.
be right, but look, still.
Last 3 games.
Still, yeah, he been good.
10
He been
10
good. Yeah, he
week
went 14
8,
for
10
100 on the
catches.
Bucks. He went 14 for 100 on the Bucks.
Week
yeah.
8, 10 catches for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. Against Tampa Bay, he had 14 catches for 100 yards.
So
And then
1,
last
2,
week against Denver, 8 catches for 64 yards and a
Aggie.
touchdown.
1, 2.
Yesterday,
do.
he only got targeted 4 times. You know how many times he got targeted the last 3 games combined?
What's that?
40 times. Just think about that.
Cal-
He got, over 3 games, he got targeted 40 times.
That's
To
fine.
4 yesterday.
Trevor Wallace shutting all that down.
So,
Trevor
like I
Wallace.
said, when Patrick Mahomes remembers that he has an all-world tight end, they'll be fine.
But they got 3 tight ends.
Yeah, but the best one is
Look,
the
y'all
one
got
that
me over my
we
time.
know who the best one is.
Yeah, Brandon, go ahead and get your nap in, brother.
I'm gonna let you know something though. We got somebody on our team that's familiar with Travis Kelce, which don't sleep on it.
Who
And
that?
that's Josie Jewell. Josie Jewell. We shutting all that down.
Okay.
Shutting all that down. Yeah, he said it is 40 times. Hey, look here. If Kansas City beats Carolina, I'll do the next episode in a Dallas Cowboy jersey or hat.
No, fuck that. If Kansas City beats Carolina, you gotta buy me B-Dubs.
Beat up? I'll buy you beat up.
Yes, sir.
I'll buy you beat up. I'll give you $50 limits at beat ups too. So Carolina.
Come on, CB, come with that
let's wait
football.
to the end of the first half to make that bet.
Oh my gosh, you terrible.
I should got it. I believe in my team. Hey, trick side note, we're doing a Carolina Panthers watch party, and I'll talk to you offline. But yeah, let me get at your final thoughts.
Not my
All
final
right.
thoughts.
What's your final thoughts?
Well, Cowboys still suck. They're gonna lose this game.
Y'all
I
come
like
back
the
second
fight.
half.
I like the fight, but they're gonna lose. The Georgia
CeeDee Lamb need to hold on
Bulldogs.
to that ball.
The Georgia Bulldogs are clutch. So I like to see where the committee have us officially come tomorrow. Hopefully these guys don't have any more blunders and they went out the last couple games in the regular season so we can go into the playoff and like maybe make the SEC championship. And hopefully we don't play Alabama because we're going to lose. Yes, 40 times. That man was targeted 40 times over the last 3 weeks.
There's more cars in the parking lot than there is people in the stadium.
Interesting. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
the Miami Heat, I just need them to get healthy so I can actually see what they look like. 'Cause Jimmy Butler ain't played really at all this season. Maybe a couple games before he injured his ankle. I think he came back tonight though. But then Terry Rozier and Jaime Jaquez went out.
I mean, hey,
It's like you can't. I don't know.
Can
I
I-
don't know what the solution is. I don't know.
can I get my credit for Jaime?
We are
I told you about
wasting-
Jaime.
We are wasting Tyler Hero right now.
Jaime. I told you about Jaime.
I never said he was terrible. All I said was, he's a good piece. He comes out there, gives good minutes. I still think he needs to take another step, but he's a good bench player.
Yeah. I think he need to be a little bit more ball
think-
dominant.
Yes, I agree. I also think that we need to get rid of Terry Rozier. He sucks.
And put
The
Tyler
only
back at
reason
one.
the only reason Terry Rozier thrived in Charlotte was because they had nothing else going outside of LaMelo Ball.
And LaMelo Ball thriving right now too.
And now that Terry Rozier is inside of in a better system and around the championship culture, it's like he took a step back. But
Eh,
yeah, he not doing it enough for me, and I don't know. I feel like at this point we're fuck where Kyle Lowry at? Have him come in and just be the floor general. I mean he ain't gonna score no points, but he'll at least get
hey,
everybody else going.
Dame would be a good one. Or
I mean the only thing I worry about with Dame is his defense, and he's a little bit older.
yeah.
So I mean
Go ahead and
he's
take
younger than Kyle Lowry, but he's older than Rozier.
make the trade for Trey Young and call it a day.
I will welcome that, but same thing with him. Defensively, what is he going to do?
Hey, he gonna shoot it. He gonna shoot it. Him
He
and
gonna
Tyler Hero
shoot it.
gonna
That
shoot
would
it.
that would instantly bring. Yeah, that would bring some really good offense for sure. For sure, it would. So
But we shall see. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Strictly Sports. I'm B Wise.
I'm tricking.
I'm still not a delusional Cowboy fan.
AKA that's Mouse.
Peace. Love y'all.
Yeah, doing
Thank you,
laundry.
Linskawal. Appreciate you, brother. Thank
Peace.
you. Love.
Appreciate everybody that jumped on tonight, checked in. Love y'all. Thank you.
Peace.